Hi folks, it's Danny at Bradley James Classics, and today's classic is a Mini Cooper. Now this is a Rover Mini, so this one's from 1994. It's quite a special little Mini, this one, and I've got to say it does go rather well. And having spent a bit of time talking to the previous owner and having inspected the car on our ramp today, I can confirm that the condition really is rather lovely. It's a Japanese import. It looks to have arrived in Britain in 2007, so it has had the rigours of some British winters, obviously, whereas usually Japanese imported cars, especially Minis, which are known for corrosion, they tend to fare quite well out in Japan. But if you sort of look back through the history of the car, it looks like anything that's been needed to have been done has been done, and I know that the car was had a rather nice paint job done that was quite expensive. That's been done in recent years, so the car does present particularly well, and it was the previous owner's pride and joy, and it drives superbly well. One of my favourite features of a Japanese imported Mini is Mini with air conditioning. Fancy that. And it is ice cold, so it works really well. We'll show you that in a minute, because it's really weird to see a factory fit air conditioning in such a small car as a classic shaped Mini. Now if you do the maths, the mileage is 43,000 miles, so that's a brilliant low mileage. It shows around 70,000 kilometres. It's set up rather nice. I quite like the look of them, actually. They might not be to everyone's taste, but we've got a set of Mini Light wheels in gold and a good set of Yokohama tyres in good shape, and these Minis actually handle quite nicely with these tyres. I think I mentioned that the paintwork is mint because the car has had a rather expensive respray, and if I get in really close, you'll see, well, it's getting really close, because Minis are partial to a bit of rust, and these A panels tend to be a favourite. Up through the scuttle panel, around the headlamps, you can see we've got proper gaps here, not all sort of filled in like some are. Excellent chrome. The headlamps have had a rather snazzy conversion to these quite posh halogen lamps. Good extensions, all painted the same colour as the body, nice and bright. There's your A panel in excellent condition. Bottoms of these doors and all of these sills are rock solid. And if you have a look here, this is what the underside's like all the way. It's all undersealed and it's perfect. And I think I did see in some of the MOT history, it looks like it's had the usual welding, but that's all been done to a very nice standard, because we checked it on the ramp. So this rear panel in excellent condition, as is the boot lid. Nice bright white roof, excellent through the back. It's got quite a posh filler cap there, good decals on the car, excellent paintwork through here, through these back arches, bottom of the doors, and we're round to where we started. The car itself is just a turnkey classic. We sell all our cars with a year's MOT, actually, so you've got peace of mind that the car's been thoroughly inspected by both us and the ministry. If I'm being critical, I'll probably treat it to a new set of plastic mirrors, because there's not a lot of paint left on that one. Let's see if the other one's any better. Slightly better, but not great. So, oh, look at that. It's got the Japanese sort of text disc, I suppose that is, and the obligatory picture of Mr. Bean. So, excellent on the outside. I really can't fault it. Bodywork wise, the wheels themselves have had, I've seen better days. They've had a bit of a hard life, and if I look at that alloy there, it looks as if sometimes it might have even been blue. I think I prefer the gold, or I think I'd probably even prefer a sort of a standard set of wheels, but it does sit nicely on those Yokohama tyres, and actually as you stand back, it looks perfectly good on these gold Mini Lights. I believe it's a club owner, actually, who used to have this vehicle, and you should never underestimate a Mini according to that sticker. Now the good thing about these late Minis is that they have these big comfy seats. So they're half leather Rover Mini seats, big bucket seats. There's a bit of damage here. Looks like maybe, is that a cigarette burn or something? It's had a bit of bad luck here on the cloth. And as you can imagine, down the sides, the usual grazing that you see on leather. But we haven't really done much to tarp this car up. It's pretty much as it's come into us. Someone's upgraded these to sort of heavy duty handles all round. That looks pretty smart. This is the original Cooper steering wheel, and because of the mileage, that's some nice leather on there. It's not all worn out. Someone's fitted a aftermarket Pioneer stereo, which is a USB port there. Yes, so you can plug in your smartphone, but there's no CD player. Now this is the bit I was telling you about. You don't often see this in a Mini. Look at that. Air conditioning. So maximum air conditioning, and there's maximum speed. You get a tiny little glove box in here, and that's rammed with some paperwork. You get this sort of bit, which you don't usually get in a Mini. Now I'm assuming this sort of hides all of the air conditioning gubbins here, and it's had a lighter pod here, which that looks to me like an aftermarket one, but you can plug in your phone there. Here's all your switch gear. Now there's no choke in here because obviously we're talking about a fuel injection version of the Mini. However, this looks very Mini like here. Obviously rev counter, you can't see it very easily, but you will see, certainly when it's moving, there's a 7 there, so that's a 70,000 kilometers, and the dial is in kilometers, so I don't think you're really doing 100 miles an hour when you're doing 60. Red carpet, standard, some floor mats, respectable in the back, a good headlining. I mean, the car hasn't been fully renovated on the inside, but it's in good, acceptable condition. Obviously, you can detail these cars, you can make them look wonderful, and the great thing about Minis, you can buy lots of parts for them, and they're pretty inexpensive and they're plentiful. So I've just pulled the bonnet release catch. So one thing you won't need to do with this Mini is do anything at all with the bodywork, because that's all in pretty fabulous order. Let's open that up. Oh, that's it. So, wow, look at that. That's all shoehorned in there. Again, we haven't done any beautification. What you see is what you get. This is exactly how this car has come into us. Now, I can see over here there's some pipe work for an air conditioning system, which is you don't often see on a Mini. A big alternator at the front, because I guess it must be handling a bit more power, and underneath it is the air conditioning unit. There's the ECU, which of course is something you wouldn't see on an old Mini, and you can see over this side that looks to be the air conditioning condenser, and you can see at the front there's an air conditioning pipe running down into the pump. That's your Mini injection logo on there, and just about here you might recognise that classic old A-series Mini engine. And we've still got old-fashioned traditional spark plugs. So nothing is untoward here. None of this has been beautified. It could all be detailed for car show usage, but I can assure you this car starts and drives very nicely. Obviously it's a right-hand drive car, because it is, after all said and done, a Japanese car, which is driving the same side as us. So a low mileage Mini in excellent solid condition. I think a Mini Cooper ought to prove a pretty decent investment, because Minis are super popular, and I think a car as rare as this, i.e. a Rover Mini Cooper with air conditioning, solid bodywork and excellent, lovely shiny exterior, I think that would probably be welcome at any Mini rally in the country, and it's a great conversation point, the fact that it has come in from Japan. Yeah, it's in stock now. It's a lovely car. I'm really happy to recommend it. It drives beautifully. There's no known issues with the car at all. Rest assured that we always check our cars in our own garage, and the car will come with a fresh MOT from the ministry, so hopefully that's a sign that the car is good to go. Any inquiries, please contact me the usual way. Arrange to come and have a look at this car. Oh, I ought to mention, it looks to have had, judging by this exhaust pipe, I think it's probably got a slightly, let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's a Go Faster exhaust. That looks stainless steel under there, if you can see that. So it does make a rather nice noise. I've got the key in my pocket, so here we are. Complete with Mini Cooper fob. Let's turn the key and have a little listen. Let's have a little. There we go. A nice way to finish any video. Thanks for watching, folks. Danny at Bradley James Classics signing out.